more than you'll ever know about him.
I am the oldest living member of the Stoneman family, and this is my sister Donna and Roni. And we're the only three of us left out of Mommy's 23 children, Mommy and Daddy's. And 13 of us grew up to play music. And during the Depression, or before the Depression, during the 20s, Mommy and Daddy was making great money. We had everything we wanted. The first 10 kids was born in Galax, Virginia, and we had everything we wanted. Daddy had 3 cars. We had curling irons. We had electricity when nobody else did. We had a wind-up telephone. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know. And everything was going good. I mean, like great. And then 1929 came along, and that kind of put the hurting on us. But it did a lot of folks. I mean, it wasn't just us. It was a lot of folks who got hurt. But it really didn't clean us out until 1932, when Scott was born. Scott was born on the last piece of furniture left in our house. They done took everything we had, and Mommy was on a cot with him. And that's when we had to leave Galax. And so Daddy's first recording in 1924, September 5th, 1924, was one about sinking to the Titanic. And in 1925, it was number 3 for 10 weeks on the variety charts.
It was sad when that great ship was
A long time ago, I played music with my mom and dad, and when I was 8 years old, I had my first job on the stage. It was my very first mandolin that Daddy got out of the hot shop, fixed it up. And I remember I was so excited that it was a schoolhouse, and everybody clapped for me and everything. So I got so excited I left my only mandolin sitting on the steps of the schoolhouse. And Daddy said, "If that's the best you can do, I ain't taking you no more." Of course, he relented and got me another mandolin, and I went on. And so we played when Daddy would have to work 18 hours a day as a carpenter in Carmody Hills, Maryland. He worked at the Naval Gun Factory, wherever that is, I guess it's Washington. And we played on weekends. Then came along the 50s, and Scott was my terrific fiddler, greater in the world. He won 9 times the national championship fiddle contest, and he was the next in line to me. He was a year and a half older. He'd say, "Donnie, we're gonna go travel around the world. We're gonna get on the Grand Ole Opry." Anyway,
on my point, I want you to play a little bit. Show them a little bit how you play the mandolin. Just do it.
Oh, I can't.
Patient.
Yeah. Fix it. Something like that.
Now you know who I want her to play.
Ruby, Ruby.
When I first started playing music, of course Scott taught me how to play the banjo. He got me interested in it. But my grandpa up in the mountains of Virginia, that's my mother's father, Bill Frost. He was a fiddle player and a banjo player. And he used to make the heads of the banjo out of animal skins. And he told me a story, and I think that's really got me interested in the banjo. He said, I used to go up there every summer and spend summers there, but it was really quiet for me. I couldn't hardly stand it. I was used to a lot of racket with the noise with the children in that one-room house, and all the music going all the time. And Grandpa was quiet, him and Grandma. But he would play the fiddle or the banjo at night on the front porch. And one day, he said, when I was a young man, Ronnie, he was an old man then, he was so sweet. And he said, I went over to Phelps Park in Galax. He said there was a wagon train coming through, and he was circling the wagon train for the night. They were going up to the trail. And he said there was a young girl in that wagon train, and she sat on the back of this old wagon train playing them old clawhammer banjos. He said, I was real young, and he said the dust was just a-flying, and I was barefooted, and I walked behind this wagon trail that was going around in circles, settling into the evening, or for a few days for a rest. And he said that girl played the banjo so good, and you know, I fell in love with her because she was so good on the banjo. So I thought to myself, I want Grandpa to love me a lot because I thought he was wonderful. So I waited for y'all, so it's my turn.
Well, honey's kind of gets tired waiting on you.
Well, then, well, I didn't get tired waiting on you.
I didn't take it
But
long.
no, but you usually do.
Well,
But anyway, back to the mutiny. You can erase whatever, but I think it's fun to argue.
Is yours